Okay, so now we're going to look still on factorizing quadratics, but this time when our value of a, so our value in front of the x squared, is not 1. So this time where a is greater than 1. So if we take this example here, we can see that we're being asked to do exactly the same thing. We're being asked to factorize a quadratic. Will it go into 2 brackets? Does it have an x squared? Yes. Does it have a constant? Yes. So we know that we are looking for 2 brackets here. Whenever, however, your value of a is not 1, the first thing you should always do is this up here. Look for a common factor. So that's why we're going to do a whole little bit on this first, because it's this part that often students overlook. They overcomplicate it because they forget to look for that common factor. So if you look at the expression that we're being asked to factorize here, can you see a common factor in your values of a, b, and c? 3, 9, negative 30. Yes, we can see, hopefully, that they all have a common factor of 3. So what we can do is factorize out that factor of 3 by dividing everything within that expression by 3. So 3x squared divided by 3, 9x divided by 3, and negative 30 divided by 3. Okay. So what we're left with now is, yes, there's a factor of 3 on the outside, which we're going to keep there, but what we're left with now is a quadratic that looks just like the ones we were dealing with previously, that we know we can now factorize into double brackets within this already factorized expression. Okay. But from here, we're just going to use that same method as the last video. 2 numbers that add to make 3 and multiply to make negative 10. Doing that off the top of my head, I think we need to use 5 and negative 2. Okay. So our numbers are going to be 5 and negative 2. So then we can factorize in here, plus 5 and negative 2. Okay. So then what we've done there is fully factorize that. It looked more complex because a was greater than 1, but actually, if you look for a common factor first and check if you've got one, it can make your life so much easier as you work through. So that's the first example. The second thing I want to look at very quickly with you is this example here. Okay. Here we don't have an a that is bigger than 1, but we do have a negative value of a. A is actually negative 1. Okay. And again, algebra is all about knowing how you can manipulate to make your life easier. So what we're going to do here is, even though a is not bigger than 1, we are going to take out a common factor. Okay? And that common factor that we're going to take out is negative 1. Okay? So if we take out negative 1 as a common factor, we just need to change the sign of each of our components of the original expression. I've taken negative 1 out of the bracket. Okay. Therefore, everything in here is going to swap signs. Okay. Then to just tidy that up, I'm going to reorder it. Just put it into our normal form. X squared is positive now, so I'm going to make it, that shouldn't be up there, make it into our usual general form nicely. Okay. And now what we have, by taking out that factor of negative 1, is within that bracket, again, just like on the left-hand side, we have a quadratic, that we can see will factorize into some double brackets. Again. Okay. So here, 2 numbers, add to make 2 and multiply to make negative 15. They are going to be positive 5 and negative 3. And so then that will go into our brackets here. X plus 5, X minus 3. Okay, so pause here. I'm running out of time a little bit. So some for you to factorize. That's quite a chunky bit of work today. Off you go.